Let me first bring in our newsmaker of the evening, someone who has been extremely vocal as far as this proposal is concerned. Mohandas Pai, Chairman, Aaron Capital Partners, also the former CEO of Infosys. Sir, thank you so much for taking our time and joining us here on CNN News 18. You've been pretty vocal as far as this proposal of the Basavaraj Bommai government is concerned. What do you feel?
Look, I like the Bombay government's focus on creating jobs for people of the state. I think every state government should focus on creating jobs, making sure employment opportunities are plentiful for the people of the state, because jobs for young people should be the number one priority of the government.
Sure.
And to get the jobs, they must have good investment policies, and they should get many companies coming and investing to create jobs. So they have to create the infrastructure and they have to market themselves to do it, which is very good, which I hope they will do much more. They're doing, but they got to do much more. But when it comes to incentives and sops and all that, they have to be very careful, because they must remember that all the people in the state, irrespective of the language they speak, are paying taxes. Taxes are not coming from one part of the population. Everybody is paying taxes. Second, when industries come here, they want to hire the best people possible, irrespective of gender, irrespective of background. I don't think employees discriminate on grounds of gender or background, language, or whatever it is. Third, it is true that when you come here, you must try to employ as many local people as possible. All that is agreed.
Correct.
So if you have any incentives and sops, you should not create a discriminatory policy that only if you employ so much, we'll give you the sop. That is very wrong. What they can do is to create an incentive policy which says, if you employ a Kannadiga or a person who's domiciled here for a number of years, we will give you so many rupees off the land cost for each employment. Or we'll give you a monthly grant of so and so rupees for 2 years, 3 years. They can do that. That will be interesting. For example, if I employ 100 people, 60 people are from the local community. For those 60, you give me some money. And you give it to everybody, irrespective of who it is, and is applicable for a particular section of society who are locals here, because these are the people who will be the majority of the population. That is fine.
Sure.
But don't create structures where you say, if you don't employ only these people, will not give you any subsidy with sops, will not give you an incentive. That is totally wrong. It must be structured in a manner where you achieve your purpose. At the same time, don't drive away the flexibility and the ability of employers to hire whom they want.
But, sir, the argument here is then, and this is what, people who are favoring the proposal by the Bommai government is saying, why are you actually singling out a state like Karnataka? This is not the first time that we're talking about reservations as far as the private sector is concerned. Many other states have also done it. So what if Karnataka also goes forward?
Look, that is a very specious argument. Why are you criticizing us? We are all citizens of Karnataka. We live here. This is our government. This is our state. Political parties come and go in government. We live here. We are the people who bring investment. We are the people who bring jobs here, right? We are the people who recommend to others. When people come here, they ask us, is it worth investing? We all support the state. So we have a legitimate right to be critical and to tell them, do it this way. Still, please understand, nobody is objecting to state government creating an incentive structure or a structure to promote locals for jobs. I don't think anybody is objecting. All they're saying is do it in a proper manner where people do not feel discriminated, and you do not force people to follow a particular line. You incentivize them. If land is being given available, give it to everybody who comes here. You should not put restriction only if you employ. What you say is you have to pay dash amount of money for land. For every job you give it to a local defined in a criteria, I'll give you so much rupees off. That is fine. And if you employ somebody who's a local, we'll give you so much of grant every month for 2 years. That is fine. Do that. That's the right way to do it. Please understand what people are saying. And remember, if you create discriminatory policy, people will go to court. If people go to court and take a stay from the court, with the court may be willing to grant because prima facie discriminatory, what happens to your policy? It doesn't work at all, right? And you get a bad name unnecessarily. Why are you trying to get a bad name unnecessarily by doing some very ill thought out policies when you can achieve the same objective or job generation for people? See, jobs should be created by skilling people who are locals, by giving them good education, giving them scholarships so they are, fit for the job. That's the way to do it. And if you're incentivizing people to employ local people by giving them certain incentives, that's the way to do it. Do that. That will not be discriminatory. That will be fine because, you're trying to use your resources to promote your people of your state, and that's perfectly fine. You cannot say don't employ anybody from outside, don't do that. I think they got to structure it in a very nice manner. That's the point.
I agree with the point that you're making, that this actually could, bring in sense of fear and paranoia among job seekers, employers as well, because a major chunk of the people don't necessarily have to be locals. So how do you then see this actually pushing back job seekers?
No, it pushes back job seekers because, you must understand that we are one single country. We are not broken up into different parts for different laws. We have one single law, and the Constitution protects us and gives us the right of equality across all country, or across the state. Across the country. So the courts hold it to be discriminated. What is the point of having a policy which could be struck down by the courts? So Haryana has done that and created unnecessary negative publicity for Haryana. And I'm told that people have gone to court. I don't know much about it. People can go to court and the court may stay it. What is the point of doing a policy which becomes a matter of litigation? Do it properly. Yes, you must